Once a Vandal Gunner, always a Vandal Gunner. I bravely volunteer to charge in recklessly. Let's get in range. Locked, loaded, and ready to rock it. I'm going in!
What is up guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to play Tristana using her latest skin, the Spirit Blossom. So we are playing her in the mid lane, but the build and stuff is the same for AD carry and mid and top lane as well. The reason we are using her mid is because you have way higher kill pressure. She can be really obnoxious in the lane. She's actually one of the strongest 1 versus 1 champs in the laning phase. So that means that you can actually win like most matchups. You start with the E, and usually you don't want to push level 1 because as soon as you hit level 2 then you can start engaging. But actually I ended up pushing a little bit here, so that sucks, but it doesn't hurt too much. But every single time you execute a minion, it's going to like deal a little bit of AoE damage with that E passive. So that's why you can't really freeze on this champion, because you always end up pushing, unless you start with another ability instead of your E. You just stay back in our last setting here. You want to play really aggressive, that's also why we have Ignite. You can also go with Exhaust, but I like to play with Ignite because I tend to pick up a lot of solo kills in the mid lane when I play her. And also using PTA, because it scales a bit better, but Halo Blades is certainly also an option. It makes your lane a bit stronger because it allows you to proc that E really fast early on. But PTA scales a lot better. And as you can see right there, that was just one trait and a lot of his HP gone. That's why she's so strong in the mid lane. Like, it's really hard to lose with her, guys. She has insane damage, she has great wave clear, she's really fast at taking down towers, and then she also has a lot of mobility and high DPS as well. So it's a champion that has a bit of everything. You can see that they can't really fight you, like this guy just has to disengage immediately, otherwise he will be toast. And your rocket jump, guys, the W, when you are using it, try to make sure that you're landing right on top of the opponent so you get that slow off. And if you fully detonate your E, then your W is going to reset. It will also reset on takedowns. But the goal, honestly, is that you just try to find a way to jump onto the opponent. That's why, if possible, you want to let them push in like level 1. So as soon as you hit level 2, then you just jump in, because no champion is going to be able to match that. Unless maybe something like a Jax, you know, a champion that is especially strong at level 2, but you don't really meet them very often in the mid lane. And then of course you also have that Q for insane attack speed. And we're just gonna jump in once again right here. And I actually think that was pretty lucky. Like lucky and not lucky at the same time, because I was not supposed to walk within tower range, but I leveled up, so I did not die to the tower. So that's nice. He also got pretty lucky a couple times, so I think I deserve that kill. But this just goes to show the potential this champion has in the mid lane. Really easy to play as well. That's the main thing about this, is that she's very strong, but it's also super easy to play. Just getting the components towards the Kraken Slayer, and then we're also getting the refillable. Can use the W jump back to lane just once, because it is going to be available again as soon as you are back in lane. Same thing again, you just look for chances where you can just jump onto the opponent. You can try to poke them, like if they're standing next to low HP minions. When you auto attack these minions, they take a little bit of damage. Also, you also have a decent amount of magic damage in your kit, so even if people have armor runes in the early game, you still get some free damage off just because you have a decent amount of magic damage in your kit. And another free kill, we got that ultimate up for some more burst damage. You managed to take down the Z, and then when we get a takedown, the W resets, so you can use that to get out with. That's a really cool thing about that W in how it works, is that If you time it right, then you can use it to deny CC, so when you're about to get hit by CC, you can use that jump to like deny that CC and then still get out. That's why if you see Tristana being picked into champions like the Blitzcrank, it's because of how that jump works, because she can completely deny that jump. It's the same thing with Israel E. So that's also something that makes it really good, especially in the solo lane. So maybe if you have a mage in the bot lane and you need an AD carry still, then Tristana is definitely an option. Remember guys, the goal is to get as many stacks on that E as possible before it detonates, because it's going to increase the DPS, so just jump and then just go all in honestly. You're playing an AD carry, but honestly the playstyle is pretty similar to an assassin in the mid lane. Because you have so much burst damage, you're pretty much an assassin at this point. The good thing is that people can't really out DPS that. Just keep doing the same thing over and over, just keep pushing mid, and if they for some reason decide to roam, you're gonna take down that tower really fast because your E can also be procced on the tower. And that explosion does cover a pretty big zone when it detonates that E. So if the champion is staying under the tower and trying to last hit, they will get hit by it, and that's a lot of damage. As displayed right there on the Z, so yeah, while pushing for the tower you can also get some free damage off on the enemy champions. But just keep pushing, honestly, that's all you gotta do guys, like it's extremely easy to play this champion. There is nothing difficult about this champ, she's really beginner friendly as well. And she has really high damage, so a lot of champions cannot match that, even for other AD carries. Just drop that E on the tower, get as many stacks as possible. Better if you can get the maximum amount of stacks, but sometimes it will be too risky. Remember, if you get the maximum amount of stacks and detonate it on an enemy champion, W is going to reset. So that's why you can jump in first with a W, use the E, preferably at the same time because that works. And then you get as many or the maximum amount of stacks on your E, detonate it, and then you have a way out because your W is going to reset. Also guys, your ultimate dealing magic damage, it also knocks back people. But if you have detonation stacks and use that ultimate, the E will not detonate until the knockback animation goes fully through. So you can actually get the maximum amount of stacks on an enemy champion, then you can knock him into the enemy team, because the E will not detonate until that ultimate animation goes through or until the E expires. Not quite sure why the Soraka is staying mid. But it's whatever. We are picking up a nice double kill, so we'll take that. And a blue buff as well, of course. And then when you want to push guys, just E on the middle minion. Usually if that's a cannon wave, then of course it's the cannon minion. And just take it out easily like that. Like it's going to clear out the entire wave almost at this point in the game. Resetting to get the Kraken Slayer, extremely OP item for AD carries, like insane DPS because of course you get a lot of attack speed with the passive. You also get that true damage proc. Even if people are deciding to get armor at this point in the game, this item is going to make it really hard to counterplay. So if you want the highest DPS, then this is the mythic item to go for. You can also go for the other options, but honestly, I'm just going for this every single game, cause why not? You get a lot more DPS. And AD carry and the support, the two strongest roles this season, guys. But why not amplify that damage so you can be even better and more oppressive? And just keep pushing it out. Always see the cannon minion if you want to push it out instantly. It's a lot better if the minions are grouped up, because then that E detonation is going to clear out the entire wave. Whoops, I trolled a little bit. That was my bad, because I could use that W to cancel out the affiliate CC, so I could have gotten out. I greeted a little bit and this is what happened. The good thing here is that every single time you like level up, you get bonus range, like permanent bonus range on your auto attacks, your E and your ultimate. So you actually become really strong in the mid to late game. Like she does not have that same DPS late game like she did in the old days, like many years ago before she got reworked, because that was the real hypercarry Tristana. Nowadays a lot of her damage is in that E, so she needs to have that up first, but she still has a lot of DPS because you have high range and you also have that attack speed buff on that Q. We can jump on the Syndra over here and then we can re-engage on the Aphelios. And that is going to be an easy double kill. You see, if you manage to get a takedown in a 2 versus 2, then even if the last target flashes away, your W are already reset, so you can just keep following. So that's why it's really hard to like escape from a Tristana, especially if you're playing another AD carry or an immobile mage or something in the mid lane. Like that's a guaranteed kill. The tower's down in the mid lane, so at this point usually you just try to group up or split push in the side lane. But our AD carry is speedrunning it seems like, so I don't think he will be listening. Which blows a bit. It's whatever. Got that easy takedown on the Syndra. Like the burst damage you have on an AD carry especially, it's crazy, man. Like it's very similar to an AD assassin. Except for the fact that you have the range advantage. It's insane, this champ, when you play her in the mid lane. Because you can afford to go ignite and it's going to be a 1 versus 1 that you are going to win most of the time, especially in the early game. Traditional mid laners are not able to keep up with this burst damage and mobility as well. There's not a single mage who can match this. And then she's also the ultimate counter pick into the Kassadin. So if you are meeting a Kassadin that somehow, or for whatever reason, blind pick his champion, log in the Tristana and he's gonna rage quit. I can almost guarantee that. They have the Phantom Dancer, so that's like the spike you get with the Krang there. Phantom Dancer is for the DPS as well. Lots of attack speed. Like you can really go ham on this champion, as you can see right there, because your W is going to reset. Jump in, get a kill, jump out, and then maybe you'll get another kill like I did right here. So it's one of those AD carries that allows you to play really aggressive, similar to champions like the Kai'Sa and the Vayne as well. One of the few champions who allows you to do that. And another kill despite tanking some unnecessary stuff, but the Triumph of course, super good. rune to have on AD carries if you're going for the precision tree. Always great to have, because it is going to save you in a lot of different situations. We will just keep pushing it out. Like, the wave clear is so good, guys. Even if you don't use the E active, you have the passive, the AoE damage, which helps you wave clear. So if the enemy mid laner decides to roam, you just show out the wave instantly and then just knock down the tower. Let's see if we can help with the fight here. I think the Master is dead though. But when you're playing AD carries and other, melee carries who are very reliant on auto attacks, you have to be really great at kiting. Like, I'm playing on almost 130 ping, so it's a bit difficult to like dodge stuff and predict stuff, Because even if you press your stuff in time, there's still a delay because of the ping. So if you play in high ping, then yeah, you can't really do much about it. But if you have low ping, being really good at kiting and stuff is going to help you out a ton on those squishy carries. And you can use attack move click, like I'm doing a lot of the times, because you can just click on the ground. You don't have to target the enemy champion. But mostly, when you kite, it's going to help you out in a way that you don't accidentally click on the ground and then accidentally end up moving towards the enemy champion instead of kiting them. That's where attack move comes in. Because sometimes when you try to kite and auto attack at the same time with right click, if you just, for whatever reason, end up auto click or clicking on the ground, it's going to make it so your character move towards that spot instead of kiting with auto attacks, and that can really end up getting you killed. So that's why attack move click is such a big help. Because you just click on the ground and then the champion is going to target the closest target. I still use both, but this is a big help. I'm just going bot lane and then trying to take down this tower right here. Because we'll be focusing down the objectives, which is the main goal. And that is the Ruwake Syndra right there, that I will also be making a guide for very soon. I've been trying her out a couple times, guys, and honestly she feels so much better. And really fun to play as well. We can go for the Z here, try to land the W on top. And just look at that burst damage, man. Like, I am sitting on 14 kills, but you saw in the landing phase what I was able to do. Even in the early game when I did not have any items. This is an AD carry that's about to do all of this stuff, which is why she's strong in the mid lane. Like, she has everything that you need from a mid laner pretty much. The only thing that's missing is mostly magic damage. That's why you don't want to pick her if you have a full AD team. I'm doing it right here because they have a squishy team, so I don't really care about that. But if they have bruisers and tanks, avoid picking full AD comps. That is AP Shaco, so we cannot detonate that while we are within range. That's going to deal way too much damage. Now we're gonna get the last crit item, which is going to be the Infinity Edge. Want to make sure that you're not getting it before you already have a couple crit items, otherwise you're wasting the passive. In this case we already have the Krangslayer and the Phantom Dancer, so we can afford to go for the Infinity Edge, which is going to round up that massive crit damage. Next item, usually you go Lord Dominic's if they have armor. If they have a tanky team, if not, just go for Bloodthirster like I will be doing this game. Because it's a lot of damage and then you also get more lifesteal. You have a little bit from the runes. But Bloodthirster is going to help out a ton, especially that shield as well. So you can afford to tank a lot more damage. Just keep pushing it out. We see people topside and Master Yi somehow getting a double kill. I mean, it is Master Yi, so there's that, and we just keep pushing it out, and then we can recall if we see a lot of people coming in. You can see that auto attack range being really massive right now because of the passive. So you can really outrange a lot of champions in the game right now, so you don't have to put yourself at a risk by going into close range. On the way back, making sure to take away the remaining jungle camps, and then we can camp here in case the Yeagerlol comes, then we can also get a free kill that way. If not, it's also fine, we got the blue buff. But I do this a lot, especially around the more important buffs like the blue and red buff. You just know the jungle is going to come, so you can clear out the vision, wait for him to come, get the free kill, and then you get out with free 300 gold. This Soraka just gave up on the AD carry because he's running it down, I think, so she's just following me around. At this point it's fine. Just look at that auto attack range, guys. Almost hyper carry level. Unfortunately not quite the damage though, because a lot of the, as I said, a lot of your damage is in that E. You still do have a lot of damage on your auto attacks though. Got a kill on that Aphelios. Unfortunately, Syndra ultimate coming in, otherwise that would have been another free kill. That would have been a quadra kill, I think. I actually think that is the point where Syndra has that execute on her ultimate. Like, she needs enough stacks. And when she does have enough stacks, her ultimate is going to execute like a Elder Drake buff, like when they are, I believe, 15 HP or below. Then it's like a execution. But there's a lot of playmaking potential on this champion, guys, as you can see. And also very strong in the mid lane, having access to a lot of different stuff. Wave clear, mobility, high DPS, fast tower taking potential, and so on. So that's what makes her a really good mid laner. We are almost full build, the last item. Now that we have the Bloodthirster, as I said, at this point, if they have bruisers and tanks, you want to be going for Lord Dominic's. Right now they don't, so that's why I'm going for Bloodthirster. A lot more damage, while having lots of lifesteal and a nice shield. And the next item, usually just a Guardian Angel. You can also go for Sonya's Hourglass, because she does have AP skilling. But Sonya's Hourglass is such a good defensive item, that's why it's possible to go for that. Because it's just better than Guardian Angel. And that is the new Syndra ultimate, guys. You see, if that was the old one, I would have survived with a little bit of HP. But because I was 15% HP or below from that ultimate, it just executes me, so I just die straight up. If you hated playing against the old Syndra with the ultimate, you're going to hate her even more right now. But I'm going to have a lot of fun playing her as well. I could get some MR because they have 3 AP, like they have AP bot, AP jungle and AP top. But I am far ahead, right, so I don't really care about that. Unfortunate, Samira not getting their kill, so that guy is just over tilting. Big Sag. And Master E just getting toyed with. I guess it doesn't matter because it's Master E. Now we should just be going for the end right here. Because honestly, we have everything we need. We have the items, so we can just obliterate anyone who walks within range. Even 1 vs 2s, 1 vs 3s and so on. Especially if that E detonates on multiple people. That's a lot of free damage. So that's the real cool thing here, is that you have PTA, you have Kraken Slam, like 3-hit stuff, and then you also have your E, which also requires you to get a couple of auto attacks in. So when you combine all of that stuff together, that's why you have so much burst damage. And that superior auto attack range we have right now, if somebody steps up, we can just poke them. We don't have to go all in. We can just poke them with a couple of auto attacks, and if it happens to be the third auto attack with the Kraken Slam, they're going to lose a lot of HP. And that might result in them getting kicked out and forced back to the base, so we can use that chance to take down the towers or the inhibitor. The top side is down, and then we can just use that minion wave to heal back up. That's going to go really fast because we have sustain in the precision, lower tier rune, and then we also have the bloodthirster, giving us a decent amount of sustain as well. So as long as you have a minion wave, you don't necessarily have to recall when you are low HP, or even in the jungle camp. Okay, the assassins down, they're fighting, that should be fine, so just keep pushing to get the mid-side inhibitor once again. And then we'll be trying to go for the end right here. You can see that superior auto attack range, they are not able to auto attack us back. Alright, that's a flash, and even a Sonya's coming in, otherwise she would have died. And we have a big minion wave here we can use to heal up with. So now we are going to be full HP again. And just do the same thing, poke with auto attacks. You're still playing an AD carry, so in team fights you still want to stay back. But when you go for 1 versus 1s, 1 versus 2s, that's when you can jump in aggressively like an assassin. This Zed just knows that he cannot kill me, so that's why he's just completely ignoring me and going for the Samira. To fix his KD, I guess. But this is how to play Tristana, guys. Same thing for AD carry mid and top, so I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and see y'all next time.